Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk about, guess what? The internet, of course, because today the internet was truly on fire. Today it became official that Elon Musk bought Twitter, and there's a lot to be said about that because the reactions online have people freaking out. And when I say freaking out, I'm talking about in both ways, in like an excited way and then in a way where they could not hate it more. And the interesting thing is that there are extremes on both sides. Like I've seen only a couple of people being like, I don't care. It's just a social media app. I can use it or not use it, so it's not that big of a deal. However, there are also the two sides that we're going to talk about that are saying this is the end of Twitter, like this is going to make Nazis have reign over Twitter. And then there are people who are like, Elon Musk saved free speech, and some people made some very, in my opinion, offensive comparisons. But before we get into that, I did want to thank today's sponsor, which is NordVPN. A VPN is a virtual private network, and that means you create a secure connection online. Using NordVPN means that I can browse the internet safely. On top of this, NordVPN has a strict no logs policy, meaning they don't track, collect, or share private data. Right now, you can get a huge discount on a 2-year plan if you go to nordvpn.com/readytoglare, and you'll get an additional free month. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. NordVPN launched a new feature called Threat Protection. Threat Protection will protect your device from malicious websites, malware, trackers, and intrusive ads. The cool thing is that even if you're not connected to a VPN server, if you switch on Threat Protection, it will stay on. This means that, for example, if you download a file, Threat Protection will scan it and assess whether it's infected before it causes your device any trouble. Threat Protection really is the best way to safely navigate the internet. Again, remember to go to nordvpn.com/readytoglare to get a 2-year plan with an additional free month. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video. So if you don't know about this Elon Musk thing, there's quite a few things that we need to cover. So first of all, let's just cover the basics. So Elon Musk bought Twitter for about $44 billion. Twitter agreed to sell itself to Mr. Musk for $54.20 a share, which is a 38% premium over the company's share price this month before he revealed he was the firm's single largest shareholder. It would be the largest deal to take a company private. Now, obviously, this was written before it happened, so some of it is in future tense. Something Mr. Musk has said he will do with Twitter in at least 2 decades. That's the basic gist. Now, I want to read reactions from people on Twitter because, that is the app he bought, so people's reactions from there, I would say, are important. But it's just very interesting because, like I said, there are very contrasting opinions, and it just really does not seem like there are many moderate ones there. And there are even people going as far as to say that they're going to leave Twitter, which is completely fair. Of course, you're supposed to decide what social media you want to use, what social media you want to support. On the other hand, I also think that if we're going to disconnect from everything that is in some way corrupt, there's going to be very little left, which is just my pessimistic point of view. That's not to say I think you should stay on Twitter or leave Twitter. I'm just saying that it's a difficult decision to make because then you start looking at other companies and other social media platforms, and a lot of it is not pretty, let's put it that way. Elon himself tweeted a few things, so I'm gonna read those off first. So he said, "Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated." So it's a screenshot from some article. "I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans. Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it." He also said, "I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter because that is what free speech means." Here come the reactions. So here we have one person who says, "Elon Musk buying Twitter is the 21st century version of Lincoln freeing the slaves." Someone else said, "Congrats and thank you so much, Elon. We are so excited to see what's ahead." And then there's the Twitter logo and it says loading free speech. This one I find a little bit cheesy, to be honest, but I don't really have a huge reaction to any of this. Like, I'm not up in arms and I'm not popping a bottle of champagne. I don't personally like Twitter. I just personally don't really care that much. There's also people like Mr. Beast who said, this is going to be so interesting. And actually, interestingly enough, I came across an article on Twitter discussing Mr. Beast and how he looked up to Elon. Now, I don't know if that's still the case, but it would make sense considering he seems to be supportive of all of this. So on the other hand, there are also people saying things such as, decent people aren't going to remain on a platform that you turn into a cesspool of harassers, conspiracy theorists, Nazis, and abusive misogynists, to name a few. You're purposefully setting out to destroy this platform to salvage your own man-child ego. This was a lot, and I think that this view is also extreme. Now, we don't know yet what the hell Elon is planning on doing. That's not me defending him, because like I said, I don't really have any vested interest in Twitter. In fact, most of the time I shit talk Twitter. So it's hard for me to imagine a worse Twitter, but I don't think we can just say, you know, like it's gonna be all Nazis, all right, all, you know, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be that extreme of a change. I don't even know if there's going to be a change, to be honest, like a significant or noticeable one, but we'll see. And I think that that should be the general consensus of saying we'll see. And that's not to say that you have to like Elon, like have all the feelings you want, but I just don't think we can assume it's going to be great or it's going to be terrible. So a lot of posts that were not happy about this whole thing with Elon were putting graphics like this. Friendly reminder that Elon Musk told the UN that if it gave him a budgeted breakdown of how $6 billion could end world hunger, he would do it. They gave him a detailed budget of how the money could be used, and then he didn't do it. Instead, he decided to buy Twitter for $45 billion. So I went to see exactly what the conversation was, because like, you can't just trust a Twitter graphic, right? I found an article, and I'll link it down below if you want to read the rest of it. But it says, the UN's World Food Program says it hasn't received a check from Musk yet. Whether the World Food Program receives any of Musk's $5.6 billion donation is yet to be seen, but I am excited to hear that Elon is engaged, the organization said in a statement. So here's the actual tweet where Elon says he would help the World Food Program, and it says, fact check, 2% of Elon Musk's wealth is $6 billion. In 2020, the UN World Food Program raised $8.4 billion. How come it didn't solve world hunger? And Elon Musk responded saying, if the World Food Program can describe on this Twitter thread exactly how $6 billion will solve world hunger, I will sell Tesla stock right now and do it. I couldn't find any proof that he did do it, so as of what I've seen, allegedly, don't take my word, like take my word with a grain of salt always. It seems like this donation did not happen, or at least if it didn't, it wasn't publicized. And I feel like if it did happen, it would have been heavily publicized, which is what makes me think it didn't happen. Like, I don't think they'd keep that under wraps. And I don't think Elon would want to keep it a secret either. That would boost anyone's reputation. So I don't think it happened just because of the context. That's what's going on. You guys can let me know down below. Do you plan on quitting Twitter? Do you care? Do you not care? Are you waiting to see? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.